What if I told you that the single biggest thing holding you back from trading success is actually you? Yeah, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden psychological forces that really separate the winners from the losers in the market.
You know, we're all taught that trading is this game of numbers and charts, right? But what if that's not the whole story? What if it's kind of a lie? What if the real battlefield isn't happening on your screen, but right up here, inside your own head?
And that brings us to this really powerful and, honestly, super overlooked idea. We're calling it the analysis myth. It's this belief that if you just get good enough at the technical side of things, you'll start making money. And we're about to break down exactly why that's such a dangerous way to think.
I mean, think about it. From the moment you start, you're told the path to riches is all about mastering technical analysis. The idea is so simple, right? If I can just learn to read these charts perfectly, the market will just hand over its secrets. Sounds good, doesn't it?
And so what happens? People spend years, sometimes even decades, chasing this ghost of perfection. They go deep, deep down the rabbit hole of trend lines, Fibonacci levels, Ichimoku clouds, all of it. They're hoping that just one more indicator is going to be the magic key that unlocks the door to consistent profits.
Okay, but here's the absolute game changer, the distinction you have to get. Analysis is not trading. They're not the same thing. Analyzing, that's studying data, drawing charts, finding patterns. Trading, that's making a decision when everything's on the line. It's managing your fear. It's controlling your greed. See? Totally different skills. And confusing the two, well, that's probably the single biggest reason most traders fail. Period. And the evidence for this? It's actually pretty startling. It leads us to what I like to call the 90% paradox. And trust me, this one is going to completely shatter that whole analysis is everything idea.
So, take a look at this number, 90%. What do you think that means? Most people's first guess is, oh, that's the percentage of traders who lose money. And you're not wrong, but that's not the full picture, not even close.
Okay, here it is, the punchline. A study found that 90% of the traders who lose money, and you gotta hear this, they actually analyze the market correctly. Let that sink in. Their charts, they're right. The patterns they see, they're there. Their predictions are often spot on, and they still lose money. So what does that tell us? It tells us the analysis isn't the problem. The problem is the trader. It's you. It's your decision-making, your emotional roller coaster, how your personality holds up under pressure. That is where the real battle is won or lost.
All right, so if the problem is us, then it stands to reason we need to understand ourselves, right? And that brings us to the real heart of the matter today, your trader personality. Because it turns out the traits that are baked into who you are, those are the things that really drive your decisions when there's real money at stake.
Let's make this real. Let's meet a few of these trader personalities. You've got Jan. We'll call him the impatient. His analysis is perfect, but he can't wait. He jumps in with crazy high leverage, all or nothing. Then you've got Whale, the patient one. He's calm, he's steady, he avoids making those emotional calls. Then there's Suleiman, the emotional. Super hardworking guy, but after one loss, he goes on tilt and starts revenge trading to try and win it back. And finally, there's Absi, the greedy. This guy can have a winning trade, a great trade, but he'll still be upset about the profits he missed by not holding on just a little bit longer.
So, take a second. Be honest with yourself. As you hear about these guys, does one of them sound a little familiar? Does it hit a little close to home? Because just recognizing your own pattern, that's the first and probably most important step you can take.
Okay, great. So the problem is us. Now what? How do we actually fix it? Well, that's where we get into the practical side of things. It's time to start forging your mindset.
We need to completely flip the script on where we put our energy. Success isn't about spending more time on technical study. That's just 10% of the pie. The other 90%, the huge chunk, should be focused on self-development, on actually understanding and mastering your own mind.
And here's a super simple 4-step method you can use to start diagnosing yourself. Step 1, document every single trade you make, with notes. Step 2, right next to each trade, describe how you were feeling. Were you scared, greedy, impatient? Write it down. Step 3, at the end of every week, go back and review those notes. You're looking for patterns, recurring emotions. And finally, step 4, figure out your single biggest weakness. Write it down on a sticky note and slap it right on your monitor where you literally cannot ignore it. And when you start doing this process of self-diagnosis, it leads to a final and honestly, the most important realization of all.
It forces you to completely reframe who or what your real opponent is when you're trading.
So let's try a new definition for trading, shall we? Trading is not just analyzing charts. Trading is the act of applying your personality and your decision-making skills to the data that your analysis gives you. Think about that. Your personality is the filter. Every piece of data has to pass through it first.
And what that really means is the battle isn't you against the market. The market doesn't care about you. It's just data. It's neutral. The real fight is you against yourself. It's a constant battle against your own worth impulses. You know, the source material for this puts it really bluntly. The market is a war. It's either the killer or the killed. This drives home the point that it's not just about numbers on a screen. It's a high-stakes psychological battlefield, and the tough part is you are your own greatest enemy.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. You've probably spent hundreds, maybe thousands of hours learning how to analyze charts. But the real question is, are you ready to put in that same work to analyze yourself? Because at the end of the day, that's where the real money is made.